Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for Badgers picks for the week of 11/11. We're going to see who's free this week and what 4 champions I'm going to recommend. Free this week, looks like we're going to get Akali, Annie, Gangplank, Janna, Master Yi, Quinn, Shyvana, Thresh, Varus, and Victor. As for my first champion I'm going to recommend for this week, I'm going to throw it over to Akali. Now, Akali, perhaps, up there with a couple other champions, is one of the fastest snowballing champions in the game. If you're really good at kind of getting an early lead by yourself and picking up solo lanes in your kills, or solo kills in your lanes, wow, that made no sense. If you're able to do that, you're probably going to be pretty good with Akali, and you should definitely try out for that reason. Once you start snowballing, all you do is you keep killing that same person over and over and over. Now, obviously, when you do this, make sure you keep the surrounding area warded really well, because you will be of high interest to the enemy jungler for shutdown gold and to just try to keep you down since you did get a lead. So if you want to play a champion that snowballs really well, play Akali. My next recommendation for this week, I'm actually going to throw it over to Shyvana. Now, Shyvana was heavily favored early on in the season. She was played a lot in the professional level because of a few reasons. She does a lot of mixed damage, actually, which is very nice. It's hard to prioritize dealing with that. Another reason is she got very tanky and still did a lot of damage, and she still does. She's fallen out of favor a little bit, but I don't really know why that's holding her back. I think she can still do fine in lane, obviously. A little bit rough early. Once you hit 6, things really get going, but she's a really good champion. I haven't seen her a lot lately, and I think we might start to see her kind of slide back into play coming up. My next recommendation for this week, I'm going to throw it over to Gangplank. Now, Gangplank hasn't been played too much, and this is kind of me just throwing a pick over to somebody who I think is sometimes pretty fun to play. He is fun to play. He's a little bit different, doesn't always fit things perfectly, but he does help the team out with some good just things, like his ultimate, obviously, with the great slow. They recently did tweak it where it does better consistent damage, which is even better. Now it helps a lot more. He can speed up the whole team, and that's just super helpful. So I like Gangplank. He's kind of fun, whether you're playing him crit plank or tank plank. He's just different and interesting. Make sure you play the early game safe and you don't feed, but just keep farming and keep getting to mid and late game and you'll do fine. And as for my final recommendation for this week, I'm going to throw it over to Victor. Now, Victor did get his rework, and it made him a lot better. A lot of people called him super overpowered. No real big nerfs have come to him, though. I actually think he's about where he should be. I think this rework was pretty balanced. I do like how his Q mechanic works now. I like how his augments work now and how those offer him just more viable routes for builds now, because a few different ones work well on him, whether it's the constant mana, tons of damage one, or the Lichbane Rush one. That one also works well too. Victor's in a better spot, and he's a little bit more fun to play and viable, so try him out this week too. But those are going to be the champions that I am recommending this week. Obviously, all the other ones are free too, so if you've never played them or you don't own them, definitely try them out. It's good to learn them. You learn lots from playing a champion for the first time. So definitely try that out this week. Pretty good rotation. Got a handful of mixed things in here. Some fun champions for sure to try out. But that's going to be it for Badgers picks, and just good luck out there this week on the fields of justice.